welcome to FPL Team Talk. In this video, the second video, I'm going to go through the chip strategy that I will be using and looking at some alternatives during Euro Fantasy 2024. So if you enjoy these sort of videos, give it a like. Please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell because we will be releasing short, sharp, snappy videos throughout the course of this tournament, all about team selection, best players to select, chip strategies, all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's take a look at it. First thing to mention is that you will have different chips to use throughout this tournament, which is great. And some of these are quite new chips as well to you if you haven't played this before. First of all, there's the wildcard chip, which we all should know, be aware of. You change your entire side into a brand new side. You've got to stick to the budget of 100 million euros unless you're going through the group stages, in which case it'll be 105. You have to stick to 3 players. Again, that will increase later on in the tournament. But there's also the new card which you can have, which is called the Limitless. Now, Limitless is a little bit like the free hit, except you just have no budget. You've still got to stick to the same amount of players per club that you will be allowed normally, but you do not have to stick to any sort of budgetary restrictions. Those are the 2 cards on top of your captaincy to earn extra points throughout the tournament. Now in game week 1 we've all got the wild card, so we can all start off with whatever side we want up until the very last minute before the game kicks off, which is quite nice because we can all see who's playing in that first game. At the end of the group stages we will then get another wild card, so you can reset your side entirely again, which again, really nice to be able to use. Then you have the last 16, last 8, semis, final, in which to navigate the rest of the tournament. Now, from my point of view, and I'll go to different options, game week 1, all got a wildcard, no other choice. I actually wouldn't mind having to be able to use my Limitless in that first game week. Because remember, when I use your Limitless, it changes the side, but just for that week only, then it goes back to your other side. But we can't. We've got to play the wildcard first week, so that gets used. For me, I am definitely interested in using that Limitless card in the group stages. It feels that there's going to be a more one-sided, high-scoring ceiling for points for my players in the group stages. Then, in theory, later on as the tournament progresses, you'll get much closer games, which won't have the same sort of potential hauls for those bigger players. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's just less likely to happen. So I'm looking to target in game week 2 some of those mismatches, hopefully, in the group stages and take advantage of that. I'm not saying that you couldn't use it in game week 3. That is absolutely an option. For me, I am tempted to use my wild card in game week 3 again as well. You could save your wild card for the quarterfinals, I think, because when we get through to the group stages, I think you're going to have to start siding with 1 or 2 teams as to who will progress through to the next round. And even though there's transfers to make, you could get caught out if you've gone heavy on England and they get knocked out. Suddenly you've got 5 players that you might have to replace, and you don't want to be taking hits at this stage in such a small tournament where getting those hits back is just going to be quite hard, but not impossible. So I think wildcard possibly for later on in the tournament could be used to bail out. If you want to be aggressive, which I intend to be during this tournament, it's not something that as a content provider is going to stay on my record, not like FPL where I've got to be a little bit careful or cautious. I feel like I can just go gun-ho at this. I think using Limitless in game week 2, wildcard in game week 3, then wildcarding into the group stages, just sounds like a lot of fun. I do think the Limitless card looks really nice. I don't feel there's any point keeping the Limitless card for any of the group stages. You could use it for the quarters, but then you get the same side back that you had for the last 16 in the semi-finals, and that could just leave you with a whole heap of problems, and you would have lost some of your transfers that you would normally have got anyway. So the only time other than the group stages a Limitless could be useful, I think, is for the final. And then somehow it feels that everyone's going to have very similar players. If France gets through, everyone's going to have Mbappe. Yeah, so it feels like very similar players. When you've got a pool of 22 and 11 players have got to play, it doesn't feel like the Limitless card's really taking advantage at that situation. It may be that actually at that point the budget is no benefit whatsoever. So for me, Limitless in game 2, wildcarding in game week 3 is an option. But the budget does increase later on, so you could use your wildcard later on in the tournament. I don't know. What I'm going to do, I think, is definitely make it. That's my initial outline plan. I think when it gets to game week 3, I'll have to reconsider using my transfers. Could I get away without using my wild card and just use transfers to get myself into a better position? Or actually is a wild card going to be a really useful card to play at that moment in time? So I can stay flexible with game week 3, but otherwise that is my cards and how I'll be looking to play them. So I hope you found that useful, guys. Like I said, I'm going to keep these videos very short and sharp. So if you do find it useful, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one.